"Honey, finally I got accepted for a job interview," cried Henry happily. He just got a call for a job interview at Bizarre Group. Henry was of course very happy. After sending out dozens of job applications, only this time a company called him for a job interview. "Look, they even mentioned in the email that I've been hired and just need to come for an interview as a formality." Lily rushed to hug her husband. It was the first good news she heard even after 2 years of her marriage with Henry James. "We should celebrate your acceptance into the company, honey. Congratulations. I know you can do it." Henry James and Lily Wilson have been married for 2 years. Henry was actually an adopted son in the Wilson family. He is hated by the entire Wilson family except for Lily. Lily and Henry fell in love with each other and they decided to get married, even though the marriage did not actually have the blessing from Lily's family. "Yeah, you can talk to your mom. Tell him that his son-in-law is no longer unemployed." Henry returned Lily's hug, happiness welling up in his heart. Finally, he will be a useful husband. "Pray for me that everything will go smoothly and I can improve our lives." Lily smiled sweetly and winked. "Of course, honey. I will always pray for you." "Okay. What should I prepare for your interview this afternoon?" "Wait, I'm almost forget something." Henry furrowed his brows in response to his wife's sentence. "What?" Lily took a deep breath and said, "Isn't today is Judith's wedding? Should I come alone? The timing coincides with your job interview." Henry patted his forehead. He forgot that today he was supposed to accompany his wife to his cousin's wedding. "How about if you come there first? I'll catch up with you after the interview is over," Henry suggested. "Ah, well, that's okay." The beautiful woman then stepped out and opened the wardrobe. She chose the best clothes for Henry. 30 minutes later, Henry and Lily were standing on the sidewalk waiting for the taxi they ordered. In the same taxi, they headed to the Bizarre Group office first. Then the taxi would take Lily to Judith's wedding venue. When the taxi arrived in front of the Bizarre Group building, Henry kissed his wife's forehead. "Be careful, darling. I go first." "Good luck." Henry nodded his head, then stepped steadily into the Bizarre Group building. There, he immediately approached the front desk to show the email he received to the front desk clerk. "Good afternoon. I'm Henry James. I received a phone call and also an email message. I was asked to face the HRD," said Henry while showing the email message he got. The receptionist smiled. "Okay. Mr. Daniel is waiting for you. Let me take you to his room." Henry walked following the receptionist's steps into a room. "Knock, knock. Come in." The receptionist opened the door for Henry, and when it opened a man appeared to be standing as if waiting for him. "Well, how much money have you prepared?" asked the man called Mr. Daniel immediately after Henry entered his room. Henry frowned in confusion. "Excuse me, what money do you mean, sir?" Daniel stepped and sat in his chair without inviting Henry to sit. "Isn't it obvious you don't have any work experience anywhere? The only thing that will get you accepted here is pay for $10,000. $10,000. But I'm looking for a job because I want to earn money. Sir, I don't even have that much money." Daniel frowned and looked contemptuously at Henry. "TCH, I'm sure you'll never find a job for the rest of your life. No wonder the Wilsons made you a slave. See, you are much better suited to be a working slave." Henry was surprised. How could Daniel know that he was an adopted child who was treated as a slave in the Wilson family? However, before Henry could ask, Daniel was already preparing to kick Henry out. "Come on, get out of here. You are completely wasting my precious time." Henry took a deep breath. "Then, if indeed I am not accepted to this company, why am I summoned for an interview and you say that I will definitely be accepted?" asked Henry, expressing his confusion. Daniel sneered. "You know, sometimes I also need entertainment like this. Playing a pauper like you won't hurt my position. Ha ha ha. One more thing. I'm calling you for an interview to make sure if you're not fit to work anywhere." Henry James swallowed the bitter taste in his throat. His ears felt irritated as he listened to Daniel's rant. Because Daniel was insulting him quite intensely, Henry didn't realize that his phone had vibrated several times. Henry was unaware that an important figure was trying to contact him. And yet, That call was actually a call that would change Henry James' life. Meanwhile, at Judith's wedding, Lily Wilson walked slowly into the party room. The luxurious building that Judith's family had rented looked so elegant and beautiful. Lily took a deep breath as if gathering strength and courage to face the people there. "Hi, Lily. How are you? I thought you wouldn't dare come to this party." Lily took a deep breath, then exhaled slowly and put a sweet smile on her lips before she turned her body. Jasmina. "I am doing fine. You seem quite healthy and look fresh." Jasmine smiled sweetly. She was her sister-in-law. "Of course I'm healthy and fresh. All of that is because I do routine body care," Jasmine replied in a tone scoffed a little. Lily could only hold tightness in her chest. She had suspected this before. Since she married Henry, she always became the butt when she met her extended family. "Ah, yes. Lately I rarely get treatment because I'm busy," Lily said while sitting on a chair. Jasmine, who took the seat beside Lily, squeaked. "Busy, or you don't have money to go to the salon? CK. Don't pretend to be busy to cover up your poverty. What a pitiful life you have since marrying that man." "Jasmine, just so you know, I'm happy living with Henry," denied Lily defensively. Jasmine raised an eyebrow. "Happy? What kind of happiness? Your marriage used to be celebrated simply. Look at Judith's fate. Look at that. Even the dress is worth thousands of dollars. She has a good fortune to be married to the only son of the Nelson family." Lily took a deep breath. She was still trying to keep smiling at Jasmine. "Yes, she is indeed very lucky, get a rich man, but I'm no less lucky. Henry is a very kind husband." Jasmine waved her hand while pouting her lips. "Kind-hearted is not enough, Lily. Can't you see how you look now? See that dress you're wearing? I remember you wearing this dress on my wedding day. This model is very outdated. And look at your skin now, it's so dull. You're so different from the Lily I used to know." Shortly thereafter, the bride and groom who were on stage cut the wedding cake, and it was followed by drinking wine together. Cakes were also distributed. From afar, Judith could be seen walking over to Lily and Jasmine's table. She hugged Jasmine with a growing smile. And when she saw Lily, for a few seconds she looked at Lily up and down as if scanning Lily's appearance that day. "Lily, gosh, I almost didn't recognize you. You are much different now. Has your husband never provided a living?" "Ah, Henry is a lousy husband," Judith teased bluntly. Without hugging Lily, she sat down and joined the table with them. "I almost didn't recognize you, Lily. It turns out that after getting married you..." Judith hung her sentence. She glanced at Jasmine and both of them smiled mockingly. "Okay. Where's your husband? Why aren't you with him? Are you embarrassed to bring him to this party? In the end, you have to admit that he doesn't deserve to be part of the Wilson family, right?" said Judith. She shook her head. "No, I've never been shy. It's just that today Henry got a job call," Lily said with sparkling eyes. "Ah, a work call. Where? I doubt any company would hire Henry James," sneered Jasmine again. Judith seemed to be holding back her laughter while Lily seemed to be trying to defend her husband. "No, I'm pretty sure Henry will get a job this time." Someone seemed to walk closer to Lily's table and then said loudly, "Do not dream, Lily. Henry's been rejected by more than 50 companies. Today he would also be rejected." Lily looked up. She saw Catherine Wilson looking at her. Catherine then sat down at the table. "She is Lily's mother." "Mom, please," said Lily sadly. She began to feel hopeless. "What I said is true. Just try to call your husband." "I'm sure he got rejection," said Catherine confidently, as if she really knew what had happened in the Bizarre group. "What are you waiting for? Call your husband right now." Feeling pressured, Lily finally took out her cell phone and called her husband. "Turn on the loudspeaker," asked Catherine. Lily took a deep breath and followed her mother's request. "Hey honey, where are you? Did the interview go well?" asked Lily when the phone connected. For a moment, there was a sound of deep breathing from the other side. "I am sorry, honey. I'm failed. It even turned out that they called for an interview just to insult me. I'm sorry I couldn't make you happy." Jasmine and the others burst out laughing instantly. Meanwhile, Henry, who heard the sound of laughter, felt shocked. He remembered that today Lily went to Judith's wedding. See? It's a waste, you were wrong to marry Henry, Judith sneered smugly. Lily quickly turned off her cell phone. She didn't want Henry to hear her cousin's words. He just hasn't had any luck, Mom, Lily said, almost holding back a sad cry. She felt really sad and depressed. Meanwhile, Henry, who had heard laughter, was sure that Lily must have been bullied. So he rushed to Judith's party to pick up Lily. In a hurry, Henry rushed to Judith's party. Henry was worried about his wife, who might be being bullied by many people. However, when he had just arrived at Judith's wedding hall, Henry was met with scorn and contempt from his parents-in-law. Wow! Well, it turns out that you brave to come here. Where's your shame? Asked Catherine while sneered at Henry.
I'm sorry, Mom.
I think I have a right to come here, Henry answered, trying to behave friendly up front of the public. What exactly does Lily expect from you? You are poor and have no job. You see this man beside me? He is Albert Brown. He has always liked Lily, said Jacob, Catherine's husband. Henry looked at Albert. He knew Albert Brown. The man who is almost the same age as Jacob is indeed very rich. However, he already had 2 wives. Would you like to make Lily your 3rd wife? Henry asked. Hey, nothing wrong if he makes Lily become his 3rd wife. The most important thing is that Lily can live properly. Look at you. What can you give to my daughter besides troubles? Asked Catherine. Henry took a deep breath and let it out slowly. When he decided to come to the party, he was actually ready for all the humiliation he would receive. Because from the start Henry knew that Lily's family never approved of their marriage. What can you count on to make Lily happy compared to me? Asked Albert. I have a love that is only for Lily. I have commitment and loyalty. Henry answered firmly and bravely, but his answer was immediately laughed at by the people there. I'll show you what makes Lily happy. What a man should give to the woman he loves, said Albert. Albert, without further ado, called his men, and he deliberately pressed the loudspeaker so everyone could hear his conversation. Hello, Mr. Albert? Said the person on the phone. Send a brand new Aston Martin to the Wilsons. The car must be in the name of Lily Wilson. And I want you sent it right now. Albert spoke arrogantly. Yes, sir, I will immediately carry out your order. Jacob and Catherine, who heard that, of course, felt very happy. They don't care that Albert was much older than Lily. Jacob and Catherine vowed to force Lily to marry Albert. That's just a small gift, Jacob. If you give me your blessing, then I'll send another lavish gift for you and Catherine, said Albert to Jacob. Jacob tapped Albert in a friendly manner. Sure. You are the best man for Lily, Albert. On the other hand, Catherine glanced sarcastically at Henry, her son-in-law. Did you hear what Albert said? He was ready to give anything Lily wanted. And what about you? What can you give to Lily? Love and loyalty? Do you think we can eat love? You better get out of here. Your presence was never wanted by our family. Jacob blatantly kicks Henry out. Albert laughed proudly. He felt he had superior to Henry. He knew that at this time he had one step ahead of Henry. You should get out of here immediately, poor man. From another direction, Lily was walking quickly towards her family, who was bullying her husband. What mess is this? Mom, what happened? Why Mommy and Daddy wanted to kick Henry out? He is still my legal husband, cried Lily angrily. Husband? What kind of husband are you proud of? Poor husband who doesn't have a job, Catherine asked. I will always stand for my husband and never leave him. Hearing Lily's words, Jacob glared angrily. Stupid girl. I tell you that you will be happy if you become Albert's wife. Now, think about your future, Jacob said emotionally. At that time, Jacob almost slapped his daughter, but Albert held Jacob's hand. Calm down, Jacob. Your daughter will melt by my wealth sooner or later, said Albert, smiling triumphantly. Lily just shook her head. She was very upset with what her parents had done. However, she couldn't do much about it. Lily will not be melted by your wealth, Albert. Stop thinking like that. Hearing what Henry said to Albert, Catherine looked furious. With a ferocious face, she shouted at Henry. Just so you know, Henry, All this time you weren't accepted for work because I asked my relations to blacklist you from many companies throughout the Eastland City. I'm also the one who paid the Bizarre Group's HRD to invite you for an interview that ended in humiliation. I did all that because I really, really hate you, Henry. Henry was silent between shocked, anger, sadness, also disappointed. Mom! So, it turns out that Mommy has been very sneaky all this time? How dare Mommy? Ouch! Lily felt her chest constrict. Suddenly her stomach felt so sick. Initially, Lily was so shocked when she heard her mother's confession. Ouch! My stomach! She screamed.
Ah, it is just a charada.
You want to save your husband, right? Catherine quipped. Hearing Catherine's words, Henry's emotions exploded. He wanted to scold his two in-laws. However, seeing Lily wincing in pain, Henry immediately picked up Lily and left the party. He knew Lily wasn't pretending to be sick. Outside the building, Henry hailed a passing taxi and immediately asked the driver to take them to the hospital. Luckily, the distance from the wedding hall to the hospital was not too far, so they arrived at the hospital within 15 minutes. Henry took Lily to the emergency room. Anxiously, he waited for Lily in front of the emergency room while Lily was being examined by a doctor. Don't worry, your wife is being treated by a doctor. While waiting, please complete the administration first, said a nurse. Henry nodded in agreement and immediately walked to the cashier. However, how surprised he was when he found out how much he had to pay. $2,000? Can't it be paid later after the patient is healthy and allowed to go home? The female cashier with thick glasses immediately glared. You think this hospital belongs to your father? Don't protest too much. Just pay your bill now. But, right now I'm not carrying any money. I just ask for leniency maybe tomorrow or tonight, said Henry. Damn it. If you really can't pay, then, next time don't let your family get sick. Nobody wants to get sick. My wife is suddenly sick, and I really don't have any money with me at the moment, please. No, I will report this to my superiors. I'll make sure your wife gets kicked out of this hospital when they find out you're penniless. The cashier threatened Henry. In fact, patients are given leeway to pay fees at the end of the treatment period. However, there are paperwork to be taken care of, and the cashier seemed reluctant to deal with the paperwork, so she lied to Henry. At that time, Henry was completely desperate. He felt so much bad luck he experienced today. He wanted to return to answer the cashier, but suddenly his cell phone rang. And how surprised he was when he saw that there were many missed calls coming from the same number. Out of curiosity, Henry accepted the call. Young master, you finally answered my call. Henry frowned for a moment. Young master? Henry heard someone calling him had called him young master. Sorry, did you get the wrong number? Asked Henry, felt a bit confused. No sir, I'm Oliver Wood. I am the butler in the James family, and I have been looking for young master. You are the sole heir of the great James, replied Oliver Wood on the phone. Oliver Wood then spoke at length, saying that Henry's family was destroyed one night and caused the death of both his parents. Oliver Wood and some other servants of the James family experienced slander from the people who were jealous and wanted the destruction of the James family. But now that Oliver is free, the first task he does is to find Henry James, who is the sole heir of the James family. Henry, who still felt confused, could only remain silent. Even so, Henry's hunch felt that what Oliver Wood had told him was true. There were several points that can convince Henry's mind. But, still the news was too shocking for him. Hello, young master. Hello? Yes, I am still here. Your voice sounds sad. Do you have any problems right now, young master? He asked. Henry took a deep breath as he remembered his troubles at the hospital. Actually not so good. Right now Oliver Wood could catch the confusion in Henry's voice. He immediately asked, Young master, where is your location now? I will bring you something to help you out of the problem you are currently facing. However, please keep your identity for secret. I'm afraid that your late father's enemies will target you if they know your existence as the sole heir. Remember, young master have a very large inheritance. Well, I hope what you've told me is true. Of course, young master. All right, Now would you please tell me where you are? I will immediately help you get out of the problem you are facing, said Oliver. Henry was actually still confused, but in the end he also mentioned the address of the hospital where he was. Okay, please wait in the hospital lobby, young master. Someone will be there soon. The phone was hung up and Henry tried to wait in the hospital lobby. 30 minutes later, a man in neat clothes came up to him. Mr. Henry James? Yes, it is me. The man immediately bowed in salute. After that, the man handed a black card to Henry. Young master, inside this black card is $100 million. This is a card that was prepared by your late father. Henry gulped as he received the black card. His lips trembled as he then asked, $100 million? Yes, young master. The pin of the card is your date of birth. Supposedly, I was ordered to take you somewhere. However, because your wife is sick, of course you have to accompany your wife first. After that, you can contact Mr. Oliver Wood to discuss other matters. I'll excuse you, young master. Oliver Wood's subordinate finally said goodbye after his mission was completed. Until the man passed from before him, Henry still found it hard to believe. He looked at the black card in his hand. It seemed impossible that he had $100 million in the card. Slowly, after he had calmed himself, Henry walked to the coffee shop in the lobby of the hospital. He bought the cheapest drink and paid for it using the card. He purposely chose the cheapest drink in case his card couldn't be used. When Henry swiped the card on the automatic payment machine, Henry's chest throbbed. Succeed! Henry screamed inwardly after discovering that his black card could be used. To confirm it again, this time Henry chose several items at very high prices. He then swiped his black card and the transaction was successful again. I'll try to pay for Lily's medical expenses now, Henry thought happily as he walked quickly to the cashier. When Henry arrived at the cashier, he excitedly said to the cashier, "Excuse me, miss, I want to pay my wife's medical bills," said Henry. The cashier looked up to see who was talking to her. After knowing that the man who came over was Henry, the cashier only looked at Henry with an unfriendly face. She even deliberately called out to the man standing behind Henry. Henry furrowed his brows when he realized his presence was not being considered. "Hey, Mississippi, I was the one here first. How come it is this man that you serve first?" The cashier looked at Henry in disdain. "Of course I put him first because that customer definitely has the money to pay. You are just a poor person who wants to ask for a fee waiver. You should be self-aware and willing if I put other customers first." "How could that be? I have money and I will pay for it," said Henry. The female cashier scowled. "Sir, don't waste my time. Get out of the way quickly because I don't believe a word you say one bit. Even if you had money, didn't you just go out to rob? Wait until I call the police here," threatened the cashier with an angry face. "Hey, don't talk carelessly. How can you accuse me of stealing just because I want to pay off my wife's medical bills? Damn it, the paupers are troublesome. Someone like you don't need to come to the hospital if you want treatment. Just come to social services." Henry felt that the debate would be pointless. The cashier didn't want to serve him at all, so that he planned to report this to the cashier's superior. At the same time, a man came rushing in after hearing the commotion at the counter. Judging from his uniform, Henry was sure that the man was the boss of the female cashier in front of him. "What happened here?" asked the man. "Forgive me, sir, I just want to pay my bills, but she makes things difficult for me," said Henry. The man frowned. "Is what he said true?" "No, sir, this gentleman has only asked for relief for hospital fees, and he has no money. He just wasting my time," said the woman. "Is that right, sir?" At that time, Henry immediately took out his black card, then handed it to the man. "I want to pay for it using this. Some times ago, I was just asking for time. Not that I didn't want to pay, but this lady actually thought of me as a fraud," said Henry, annoyed. Seeing the black card handed over by Henry, the man was shocked and started sweating coldly. Only few people can have a black card like that. Immediately, the man gave an emotional look to the cashier. I didn't know that." The cashier couldn't finish her sentence because her shoulder was being dragged to the side. "Sir, now I will serve you," said the man. Trembling, He swiped Henry's black card. After the payment was successful, the man bowed again to Henry. "Please, forgive our staff's impudence, sir." Then, the man turned to stare at the female cashier with an angry look. "Quickly apologize to our esteemed customer. I will take care of your dismissal if he does not forgive you." The woman's face immediately turned pale. She immediately stood up and bowed before Henry. "Forgive me for my impudence, sir," she said while her body trembling. "Please don't prolong this matter, sir," asked the man. Henry took a deep breath and let it out slowly. "Okay, I forgive this woman, but I want her to get punished for her impudence. Of course, I will give her a 6-month suspension. It's worth it for what she has done. How could she accuse a customer of being a fraud? That's outrageous." The cashier screamed, disappointed. 6 months suspension is a very severe punishment. However, at least it was an appropriate punishment because during her tenure as cashier, she had not once or twice embarrassed the poor customers. Henry nodded with satisfaction. "Is there anything else I can help, sir?" asked the man. Henry thought for a moment, then he remembered something. He nodded and said, "I want my wife to be moved to the VIP room and get the best facilities," he said firmly. The man bowed respectfully. Then he contacted the nurse currently treating Lily and requested to move Lily to the VIP room immediately. After making sure that Lily had been moved, he immediately swiped Henry's card. Transaction successful. With trembling hands, the man returned Henry's black card. "Sir, your wife has been successfully transferred to the VIP room. I'll take you there. Please come with me, sir." Henry received the black card with a beating heart. "I managed to pay for Lily's thousands of dollars medical expenses, and at the same time managed to pay tens of thousands of dollars of VIP room fees?" Henry James felt happiness explode in his head. Henry recalled everything Oliver Wood had said. He is a sole heir who has abundant wealth. Then, isn't Albert Brown now just a speck of dust in the eyes of Henry James?